We know that Apex Legends will be releasing even more new characters in the future, but what kinds of abilities and ultimates will they have? Well, many of the ones you've already seen are based on mechanics and abilities from the Titanfall series, so we've been scouring those games for clues, and there are a lot of possibilities. There are 3 iconic and easily recognisable elements to the original Titanfall game: wall running, Titans, and the Smart Pistol. In the first game, this gun was a popular primary weapon, which used a lock-on mechanic. It was incredibly effective at killing grunts and spectres, and against other players, it would slowly charge up multiple lock-ons before allowing the user to instantly kill their target. This was, as you might imagine, rather controversial. Players who rallied against the Smart Pistol claimed it took no skill to use and was overpowered, while those in favour of it argued that the slow charging lock-on mechanic gave it one of the slowest overall times to kill in the game, and allowed for a super high mobility playstyle that wasn't as possible with other weapons. In Titanfall 2, Respawn took these arguments on board, and the Smart Pistol was removed from the weapon pool and instead made a boost, similar to what we would call an ultimate in Apex. So could a Smart Pistol be the ultimate of a future playable Apex character? With perhaps a time limit and just one magazine of ammunition, it could be balanced, as Apex's large map makes it less effective, and things like armour would also work as an effective counter to the gun, requiring more lock-ons to get an instant kill. If it did become the ultimate of a new character, then perhaps there would be a kind of pilot, like we've played in the Titanfall games, perhaps with even a wall running passive to give them added mobility. A lot of the tactical abilities from Titanfall have become the basis for characters in Apex. For example, the Holo Pilot gives us Mirage, Grapple is Pathfinder, Phase Shift is Wraith, and Stim is Octane. But there are still some abilities that haven't been used. The A-Wall is one example. This created a barrier that would amplify outgoing damage while blocking all incoming shots. It was a tricky skill to use in Titanfall as it was so easy to flank around the pilot, but it did have its uses when fighting Titans. In Apex we do have some barriers already, such as Gibraltar's ultimate, but the A-Wall is a different take on this, providing a little bit less defense for some better offense, and perhaps becoming a viable option for a more defense-based team. Time travel mechanics were also present in Titanfall 2, such as Phase Rewind, a boost ability that allowed you to travel back in time by a few seconds, returning to an earlier position, similar to Tracer's ability in Overwatch. Time manipulation could certainly be a theme for an upcoming character. Phase Rewind would make a good tactical ability, similar to Wraith's Into the Void, but unique in its own way. There was also an item in the single player called the Time Gauntlet that allowed its user to move through time. In practice, this mainly meant jumping between 2 timelines to avoid obstacles. For example, if a wall blocks your path in the present day, you could hop back to another timeline before that wall was built, take a few steps forward, and then return to the present day. Something like this could be really interesting in Apex, allowing the player to hop into another timeline briefly to avoid attacks or pass through buildings. There have also been various types of automated turret in the Titanfall games. These could be deployed for a short duration, and during that time they would attack anyone who came within range. The Engineer archetype is a fairly common one, and data mined information from within Apex's files suggests that either turrets have been something the developers have tested, or that they might be coming in the future. In a similar way to the Smart Pistol, there will always be concerns from players around anything that does the shooting for you, and an automated turret goes even further than the Smart Pistol, requiring even less input from the actual player. However, the Engineer is a very popular type of character in many games and wouldn't seem that out of place in Apex Legends. Another type of boost from Titanfall 2 are ticks, a type of spider-like drone that would hunt down players and explode next to them. Like the turrets, there has been references to something like this found in the game's files, and it seems to suggest that they are a type of grenade that could be found in the map. But there is also the possibility of them being a new ability for an upcoming character. As well as all these possible abilities for new legends, there have also been a number of names for potential new characters data mined, as well as some images that might possibly go along with them. The names are Crypto, Zarya, Jericho, Nomad, Prophet, Watson, Rampart, Rosie and Scunner, and they were found in the same file that references Octane, who has now been released. So it's likely that these are the names of future characters, but as Respawn themselves have warned, data mined information is not a reliable source, and things are always subject to change. This long list of heroes will probably be released over many months, if not years, and in that time a lot of things can change. These could even be the names of characters from earlier in development that have now been completely abandoned. However, this whole video is about speculation, so let's dive a little bit deeper for a moment, as there have also been some images found to go along with the names. Which name goes with which character has been heavily discussed in Reddit posts and forums across the internet, but there are some interesting details worth drawing attention to. This character is predicted to be Watson, and some other data mined information suggests that they could use a Tesla trap as one of their abilities, which sounds quite similar to the Arc Mine from Titanfall. This character's shoulder-mounted device also looks similar to those being used by Titanfall pilots, equipped with the AWOL or cloak, indicating a possible connection there. Most of the others have very few distinguishing features, but what kinds of abilities do you think they could have? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is James for Cass, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.